All right, shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off first and foremost by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rechach Hadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, and salutations to the men out there pushing this truth and sincerity. This is your brother Nathaniel from the GMS Camp Atlanta coming back at you through the Spirit with another lesson. And I pray and hope this lesson is edifying. You know, we've been hearing this word go around for quite some time now. Well, this phrase, it's called toxic masculinity. You know, and through the Spirit, I'm entitled to naming this video that, what toxic masculinity really is. And what toxic masculinity really is the lack of masculinity. You're seeing femininity in a man, okay? And you got to say that, all of these homes that come from single parent homes where the male doesn't have a father in the house. The father's been ostracized in some way, form, or fashion. And the only role model that the man has is the woman. So he starts to take on her persona and her habits and her image in a male body. What happens is you have all of these male feelings that you're expressing through a female medium, so to speak, okay? Because you haven't been taught how to handle what it is to be a man. And the only way you can be taught that is if another man teaches you, which is your father. So I'm going to start off by reading this definition of toxic masculinity. It says, toxic masculinity, a set of attitudes and ways of behaving stereotypically associated with or expected of men, regarded as having a negative impact on men and society as a whole. You see? So what they do is they want to take, the behaviors of men and call it toxic, but in all actuality, these aren't the behaviors of men. They're the behaviors of women manifested through men. And that's why you get these effeminate ass men, these emotional ass men, these illogical ass men, because they don't understand what it means to be a man. All right? Now, I'm going to start off with this quick precept, and then we're going to read some articles and stuff like that, and then close it out. And Lord willing, it won't be too long. But this is Ecclesiasticus 30, and I'm going to start at verse 1, and it says, he that loveth his son causes him oft to feel the rod, that he may have joy of him in the end. Now, I have 3 boys. You know what I'm saying? And, excuse me, guys. What are you doing? What? Don't you go out there no more. I saw you walk out there, Yaya. Don't go out there no more. Okay? And that's not a toy. Don't put your face on that no more. You understand what I'm saying? Don't let me see you do it again. Play with your stuff. Salaki Akim. Case in point right there. Boys need their father to keep them in line. They need that. They need their father to teach them how to not have emotions and to think clearly, how to shake things off. Okay? But I'm going to read this again. It says, he that loveth his son causes him oft to feel the rod, that he may have joy of him in the end. Because boys need sternness. Boys need structure. Boys need tons of discipline, okay, in order to grow up to be proper men. You see? But we've been these women, and starting with Esau, because it was this fucking devil that's done all this stuff, who's given the authority of the house to the woman, and the woman does not exert any real authority. And when she does, it becomes abusive. Okay? You have a lot of women that sit there and say that I had to be the mama and the daddy. You don't have testicles. You don't have what we have in our bodies. You cannot possibly understand what it means to be a man. Just like a man cannot possibly understand what it means to be a woman. We can understand the behaviors of a woman, but we can't know what it feels like to know what's going on inside you. And it's the same with a woman. You cannot understand the behaviors of a man, let alone what's happening inside them. Men can understand the behaviors of a woman, Okay, because men have wisdom, and wisdom wasn't given to women. And for y'all who can't receive it, hey, just move on. But it is what it is. Women can't receive wisdom and understand it, because it wasn't given to them. It was given to the man. This is why the authority of the household is supposed to be under the man. Okay, because the man is going to rule his house. If he be a man of the Lord, he's going to rule his house with righteousness and make sure that everything stays in order. You can't have an orderly household with a woman running it. I mean, you can, but it's few far in between that happens, man. I mean, you have some instances where, you may have a man of the Lord or a good man, and, he may die or get killed or something like that, and the woman takes over and she does a fairly good job raising the children based off of what he taught her how to do. You have women that do that. All right. Verse 2, it says, he that chastises his son shall have joy in him and shall rejoice of him among his acquaintance. So you'll be able to sit down and have joyous conversations with your child. You can talk about things. You can talk about their children. You can talk about life. You can say, Dad, I understand why you was the way you was, man. I understand why you was hard on me, Dad, because now that I have children and I have to do the same thing, and I'm glad you taught me that. And you can start having meaningful conversations with your son because you instill principle in him. Of course, in a lot of cases, you got to beat that shit into them, but you instill that into them. So you'll have joy. In the end, as it says in the first verse, you enjoy the latter end, man, because your child ain't a badass child getting in and out of jail, getting a whole bunch of women knocked up, coming in with different type of issues and stuff like that. Some become homosexuals. I mean, there's all type of things that men become just because they have a lack of their father. All right? And here's the point. It says, he that teaches his son grieveth the enemy, and before his hands shall rejoice of him. So you see, and I'm going to continue on because verse 4 got a little bit of meat on it too. But when you teach your son how to behave, when you teach your son how to be a man, your enemy now becomes grieved because now you're putting knowledge into your son, not only the knowledge of how to be a man, but even the knowledge of the enemy, who the enemy is. So you'll know how to defend against the tricks of the enemy. You'll understand that, you see. But what happens in this society, you have to be an idiot to not understand that Esau purposefully gave power to the woman so that the man cannot teach his children. This is why, in this society, this is exactly why when you need some type of assistance, the woman has to lie and ostracize the man in order to get any type of assistance, because they won't give it to her if the man is in the house. They want her to mislead the family. They know if the man is there and we're helping the man out, there's a strong possibility that this enemy can actually get a foothold in something. And they can't allow that to happen because Esau knows that we're his enemies. We refuse, Jake refused to, as a whole, the men of the Lord understand who this nigga is, but Jake as a whole refused to say that Esau is the damn enemy. You see? But when you teach your child who the enemy is, the type of tricks that the enemy throws at you, how to handle those tricks, how to reserve yourself, how to critically think about things, well, that's a problem. That's a problem for the enemy. This is why you don't see any men in the households. Right? You see women raising men because they want that toxicity, so to speak. That toxic masculinity was actually a lack of masculinity. It says, though his father die, yet he is as though he were not dead, for he had left one behind like that is like himself. Have you heard that old saying, man, you just like your daddy. You just like your daddy. Man, you a spitting image of your daddy. You see, you heard that? Because your father instilled his values and morals and things like that onto the son. You see what I'm saying? And those things is what create a man. Understanding what it means to be a man. Those values that are only about integrity, honor, dignity. You know what I'm saying? Truth. Humility. Knowing and moreover than all, knowing who Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is. Okay? Knowing who he is. And that he's the power that gives us everything that we have. And you teach your sons that, oh my goodness, that grieves the enemy. That makes it the enemy gnashes his teeth. He just grinding his teeth together. because he understands that he can't put one over on you because you taught your son in the ways, that the Lord told us to teach our children. You discipline your son. So a lot of these behaviors that these niggas out here display, you don't display that. Okay? So we're gonna get this definition of man. It says man, a fearless, plantigrade, biped mammal of the genus Homo, Old English man, human being, person. It's not a female, so you can take that out. Brave man, hero, a servant, a vassal, adult male, considered under the control of another person. Okay, so when you start going into this word, man, man is regarded as a hero according to the etymology. A brave man, a servant, an adult male. A featherless. I said that wrong. A featherless. I said fearless, but it's a featherless plantigrade. I don't know. I have no idea what that is. Sometimes connected to root, to think, which would make the ground sense of man one who is intelligent. And you can go on, and they have other of definitions of man, but brave, hero, servant, and there's other definitions. They've changed some of them, where it goes into man. It says integral. Let's just see if I can find it. Well, it's not coming up there. Neither there. Okay, that's not it either. It says installed. No, I don't want that. Let me just see if I can just read it because I have the dictionary on my phone. Wow, they made some changes because it's not giving the definition. Here's one. This is Webster's 1828, and it's point 9. It says, one who is a master of his mental powers. That means controlling your emotion, understanding how to think logically, who conducts himself with usual judgment. When a person has lost his senses or act without his judgment, we say he's not his own man. So there you go. You see, there's a level of integrity to being a man. All right. So I'm gonna go to this book of Job. Well, actually, no. Before I do that, I'm gonna read this article. This is family inequality, and then this is written December 5th, 2012, and it says how many prisoners grew up with both parents, and it says it's Phil Cohen who wrote this, and it says regardless, there is no disagreement that the majority and perhaps the large majority of inmates grew up in fatherless homes. It is difficult to get up to date data since the Bureau of Justice reliably tracks the family background of inmates. Doesn't reliably track the backgrounds of family inmates. They also put intact and step families in the same two-parent categories, though at least one study has found that later to be predictive of a juvenile incarceration. The 1987 survey of youth in custody found that 70% did not grow up with both parents. And they're not outright saying it, but you're going to get it. They're very vague about it, but they're saying that they are raised by their mothers. Okay? It says another 1994 study of Wisconsin juveniles was even more stark. Only 13% grew up with their married parents. Here is the conclusion of Cynthia Harper and Sarah McLena. However you say it. The doyen of research about single parenthood controlling for income and all factors, use in father absent families, only mother, stepfather, and relatives have a significantly higher odds of incarceration than those from mother-father families. Now, why is that? Because even if the mother is not present at all, and you just have the father, the children will still have a chance to be successful, because it is the moral fiber that the father instills in the children that causes them to be on point. A father, my father, I'm a stepfather. My just to give an example, and this is I got with her before I came into the truth, and she stuck with me when I came into the truth, and it's been there ever since. But her, she had two daughters, and there were certain behaviors that I just would not allow in my house. You cannot wear leggings in my house. You cannot walk around with tight fitted clothes in my house around me. I don't give a shit if you've been doing that wherever else you go. I don't care if you've been doing it at your daddy's house. But in my house, you cannot do that. In my house, you're going to have a level of respect for me. If not, you can't live with me. You see? In my house, you're going to have chores. You're going to have things you got to do. In my house, you're not reverenced as an adult like most of these damn women, they reverence their children as an adult. No, you're the fucking child, man. I'm taking care of you. You ain't taking care of me. You're a child. Okay? So, the man regulates that morality in the house. Women don't do that. You got little girls walking around with jeans so damn short, so damn tight, and that their ass cheeks is hanging out, and then you wonder why the man that you went end up smashing your daughter. Because these men haven't been raised with any type of integrity. Their fathers were not there. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the Lord in their life. So you got this little girl walking around, ass fatter than her mom's, body younger than her mom's, skin smoother than her mom's. You know what I'm saying? And she looking at you like she want to give you some of that ass. And before you know it, you done popped the woman's daughter. And then she want to sit there and, oh, you nigga, you ain't this. But, hey, look, man, you got to think about what you did. Why are you allowing your daughter to walk around this man like that? That's because it's okay with you to walk around the house like that. So because it's okay for you, it's okay for your daughter. You don't see nothing wrong with that shit. You'll let your daughter go out, stay out super ass late, and come home and sit there and talk about the things y'all have done as if your life is comparable to hers. You're her mother. She ain't supposed to be knowing how many men you done slept with and how many rods you done had. She ain't supposed to know your life's history about the wicked shit you done did. And you ain't supposed to enforce that shit upon your daughter. The scripture said that the elder woman shall teach the younger, but you're supposed to teach her good things, man. But y'all don't do that. But then, when you put the son in the scenario, You got situations where you got the mother that hates the father so much that she becomes abusive to the son. You have mothers that love the father so much and he don't want to have shit to do with her that she starts trying to create an image of the father in the son. You got mothers that promote all type of wicked ass behavior. It's because women, they don't have it, and Esau knows this shit. Okay. So then going to Job 38:4, 38:3, it says, "Gird now thy loins like a man, for I will demand of thee, and answer thou me." You see? So the Lord is telling Job to gird your loins up like a man. Which means, so let's look into that, because I was curious. It says gird. So let's look at gird. It says gird, encompass, equip, clothe. It says to gird on, metaphorically of strength. So basically the Lord is telling you to put on strength, man. Stop being a little bitch. Yeah, you done lost your whole family, you done lost this, you done lost that. Hey man, but I made you stronger than that. You's a man. That's why he said, gird your loins like a man. So the Lord was referencing something, Job, to something strong. You see what I'm saying? All the shit Job was going through, wife talking shit to him, lost his daughters, lost his wealth, lost his sons, got an illness all over his body. And the Lord told him to put on strength, man. Okay? Then he says, like a man. And it says man, strong man, warrior. Emphasizing strength or ability to fight. You see that? You're not going to get that learning shit from your damn mama, man. Your mama can't teach you how to do this, how to put on strength, how to handle hard situations. Okay? Women don't handle situations, they fold, man. They find other ways around it instead of taking it head on, man. So there's no such thing as toxic masculinity. Or you can say toxic masculinity is the lack of masculinity. Because ain't none of these motherfuckers masculine, man. This is why they behave the way they do. Okay? So, pretty much that was it. I pray there's an edifying lesson, man. We men, man. We men. And going into the times we going into, man, you have to put on strength. And whose strength? Yahweh Shai's strength. I just got to say that because it ain't no strength of your own that's going to get you through this shit, man. It's only through the strength of the Lord. So when the Lord say put on strength, he's talking about putting on his strength, man. Because only the Lord can get you through these things. But the Lord is what teaches you manhood ultimately, how to be a man, because he made men, so he know what the expectations of men should be. More so than what men know. All right? So with that, I'm ending off by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai Ba'ashim Rechal Chodash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. To the next time, Akim, I say Shalom.